fell to the ceiling and didn't go to the hospital.
That's insane.
No, that's a man. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Somebody texted in, my girl forced me to get my shoulder looked at on Thanksgiving after football. It was a broken collarbone I was trying to walk off.
Oh my gosh.
What? Oh my.
You're welcome.
You're trying to walk it off like Oogie.
Oh my
Goodness.
hold on. Had pneumonia for 3 weeks, said it was allergies. Man couldn't breathe, finally went to urgent care.
Jeez.
Was on steroids for 2 months.
Lord have mercy.
That's ridiculous. Just go to the doctor.
It's so good. Oh, let me go.
Not
to
hard.
Amanda, good morning.
Good morning.
So this was your husband, and what happened?
So for 2 weeks, he was complaining about like a side pain, just keeping me up all night. Like it was driving me nuts.
Oh, no.
Told him he had kidney stones from his symptoms he was telling me about.
Yeah.
Still took him a little while to go. Finally went to the ER. They told him he had kidney stones.
I hope that, Amanda, you casually bring this up. Like this, like if he asks, like, are you sure you still have kidney stones? I would casually just remind him that you're right.
Throw in every
like,
once
do you
in a
remember
while.
that time?
Yeah. All the time I tell him, you know who was right?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, Amanda, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.
Me.
Thanks, you too.
Bye. Wait, Kevin,
Hey, how are you guys?
was this your wife that just texted in about pneumonia?
Well, I was the one that called in. She's the one that kept telling me to go in, and I was walking around for a couple months, and I was like having trouble breathing,
Yeah.
getting up steps, and I'm a fairly active person, and I'm like, it's just allergies. I'm good.
That was your wife that texted in. But wait,
So I went into urgent care,
yeah.
and it was like Memorial Day or one of those holidays,
Yeah.
and no, I think it was Veterans Day because it was towards the end of last year.
Okay.
And I went into urgent care. I drove myself, and she was like, they were like, yeah, they put me up to the breathing machine and everything.
Oh
They're
my
like, you gotta go.
God.
They were like, we don't have an X-ray tech, but I think you need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital and got checked out, and they're like, yeah, we're keeping you the night. And I ended up staying for 4 or 5 days.
Let me ask you,
Wow.
Kevin,
Oh,
in your
wow.
experience as a man, what is worse, a cold or pneumonia?
See, the cold leads to pneumonia.
See?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
So pneumonia.
is
Or should it be the
I
cold,
was-
rather?
And then to make it even worse is my daughter got croup and my girlfriend had the flu at the same time.
croup
So
is the
none of them could come
worst.
see me.
Oh my
Oh,
God. How
that's,
old was she?
No.
She's just 2.5 now, so she was just under 2 or about
Damn.
2.
Oh my!
That
Well, Kevin,
sucks.
listen. As somebody else who has had a man cold, you're a strong person.
It was rough, but thanks, guys.
Oh my
Have a great day. Thank you
God.
for calling.
Ridiculous.
Bye. The fact that his wife texted in, he called in, fantastic.
Yep.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron, good morning.
Good morning.
So, your husband did what?
So this was a few years ago. Our old house had been condemned. And I'd asked him to go cut out a couple of ceiling tiles that we'd drawn on when we were like super young in high school before we got married. And him being a man put it off for like a solid 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then he finally had to go in the day that they were going to pull the house down.
Yeah.
But they had already taken out all the ceilings and everything. So he was walking across one of the I-beams and he slipped and he fell through the ceiling and caught himself on one of the I-beams. And he came home and he was like, oh my gosh, like my back really hurts. And I was like, babe, you have to go to the hospital. Like, there's something wrong. He was like, no, look, I can walk. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And I went to South Carolina that weekend. And 3 days later, he called me and said that he had to go to the emergency room because he couldn't stand. And the x-ray
Oh,
showed
my
2 fractured
gosh.
vertebrae in his back.
And you're
Wow.
laughing.
Like, how do you withstand that? Oh my
The
God.
fact that you're laughing, Aaron, is so good.
Can you blame her?
It was like, I couldn't even feel bad for him because I was like, I know. That's why I literally have been complaining at you for 3 days.
Yeah, I was
He was
like,
so embarrassed to
insane.
tell me.
oh, Aaron, the
It
fact
took
that
him like an extra 12 hours to tell me because he was
Damn,
like, he's never
dude.
let me live this down.
and it's not lost to me that you started this caller in by saying, typical man took him 6 months to actually do it.
I mean,
That's
It
so
was
wrong. That
absurd.
could've
I
gotten
was
so
just
much
like,
worse.
well, maybe if you had gone when I told you, then
Yeah.
you wouldn't have fallen through the ceiling. And I love you. I'm sorry, but it's also your
oh
fault.
my God, I love you so much.
Sorry.
You know, the time you fell through the ceiling. Aaron, thank you so
Oh,
much for
no.
calling. Have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Bye.
Hoo-wee.
He fell to the ceiling, didn't go to the hospital.
That's insane.
No, that's a man. That's just man logic.